Hey guys, welcome back to the Healthy Sandwich. Sabaidi, Satu. We are getting close to the new year of the Laotian culture. That happens every April, about 2 weeks in. It actually kind of falls close to around Easter, so it's kind of weird how things kind of go out, but you don't have to look into it that deeply. Let's just say there's a couple things I want to actually start putting out. One is actually a Laotian folk dance, and maybe I can show you some of the moves that go with it. And it's not like that, but I try to make it kind of cool. We're gonna celebrate it actually here in Rhode Island because it's colder around April. We're gonna actually push it out into May, and that way it'll be warmer, and we should be able to go outside. Hopefully, I'll be able to take some videos and some still pictures for everybody to see and actually understand what the culture is about, and then try to explain that. However, for today I was given a suggestion, a message saying, hey, try to do something pretty cool, something that I want to see some more of your cooking, and I want to see something that goes about what you do with tofu and how it's actually prepared. I didn't really understand it, so something that was prepared from before. One of my subscribers had suggested that to me, so I'm gonna put this out here. So I'm gonna take you to let's see what I do with tofu for you, really for me. So for my tofu press, which was pretty inexpensive, I had a couple of Tupperware that was laying around, and I actually drilled some holes inside of one, and the other one I kept alone. As you can probably see, there is some water here because I was pressing my tofu earlier. I actually still will press it a little bit longer and get as much water out as possible. The more water you get out of it, the more fibrous that tofu will actually feel like when you're biting into it. Okay, so how that worked was I allowed this other piece that didn't have the holes in it to catch water and also to soak the tofu. That's the other main thing to do. When you buy some tofu out at a store, or if you buy it by the huge bundle, you can actually start soaking some of them that you're going to use immediately and putting the other ones in freeze it, because tofu does freeze well. After you take it out, you do the same process of actually pressing it. So this is my container. I use my knives. I usually use other things to keep it up so that way the water can drain into this pan here that was originally used to soak. Okay, and what I soak it with is actually some distilled water. In the concept of osmosis, all the impurities that were inside the tofu will go out to distilled water, because the distilled water is pretty much clear, and it will move out to the distilled water, and this will now be more clean. The tofu will be more clean, and then when you press it, it'll have a cleaner taste. It won't taste so tofu-like. Okay, the other process of this is I bought a brick at Home Depot. This giant brick, and I broke it in half. One part went to me, and the other part went to my friend, who is also pressing tofu as well. This brick, this large piece here, I'd say, what is that, like 2 inches of brick. I wrapped it up as much as possible in some saran wrap, and every time I reuse it, I take up the saran wrap and put it on again. That will actually go on top of the tofu. So you have the tofu press right here. This heavy brick will actually start pressing down on the tofu and gradually push out the water into this container and drip it. Now, while that's being pressed, I'm going to actually cover this here so that way no impurities get in as much as possible, so that way it can still be as clean, a nice clean piece. So again, let me show you. Here's the tofu. Boom. I have the press here. Goes right up on top. It weighs. It's heavy, and I cover it. And I will actually put something over here to keep it so that the water doesn't actually be reabsorbed back by the tofu. Now you can actually move it faster by pushing down on this as well, on the weight, and it pushes the water out even further. Okay, I don't know if you got to see some of those drops, but the drops of water were coming out. So you ever gone to a Chinese restaurant or an Asian restaurant and order something with tofu as a substitute, as your protein substitute, and when you got it, it felt like very airy inside. You bit into it, you knew it was tofu. It didn't have like a meat consistency. It didn't have like fibers and all that stuff there. That's because it wasn't pressed properly, and they just basically put it in a fryer or something of that nature. And because the water is already inside the tofu, that water is just in oil, will expand. It will actually try to get out, and so that's why it becomes very airy, and it's not done well. It was just done very quickly. Tofu should actually be pressed if you're actually trying to get meat consistency. And here it is. Boom! And I'm going to cut it again into nice cubes. Or I could have done it any other way if I wanted to, but I felt like doing cubes. There we go. And throw it in a skillet. I use this California brand olive oil. Not too much of it. I put it in with about medium heat. I'm using an electric stove, and my range heats up pretty quickly, so I put it about a 5 or so. While that's heating up, the oil's heating up, and I throw in my tofu to get ready to brown. As it's browning, you have to wait. That is actually the main thing. I did not wait for my tofu to actually cook when I first started doing tofu to make it as chicken. The ingredients for it, the really simple seasoning: onion powder, black pepper, and a little bit of soy sauce. That's right, baby! You now have chicken! Yes, yes, listen to the sizzle! Oh, look at this. I made a beautiful chicken stir fry. Restaurant quality! I do hope that you do enjoy this and try it yourself. Ha! So there you have a protein substitute for chicken. I hope you have some fun making this tofu your own version, and it takes a lot of trials and errors, and it is super fun to do this stuff here. So Satu, Sokdi everybody, and Happy New Year, Lao New Year coming up pretty soon. We say Sabadi Pi Mai. Woo!